7:20 p.m. Today is June 19, 2023. Next part 4. Evening releases Marvin Rey vlog. Last session.
Hit their targets. They damaged the U.S. flagship, Bunker Hill, and the Enterprise. However, they could not sink the two carriers. For days, Japanese airplanes rained down on the U.S. fleet. 34 ships sank. The largest of them was a destroyer. The pilots sacrificed themselves in vain. The biggest battle between American and Japanese troops began with the landing on Okinawa. It would last 3 months. The defenders followed their orders to fight to the last cartridge. About 12,000 Americans died on Okinawa. However, this number seems small when compared to the approximate 75,000 Japanese soldiers.
1,050 total number of kids being pictures, part 4. Evening Edu series.
U.S. General Buckner died in an artillery attack, and Japanese General Mitsuru
Ito
Ushijima
gaya eh.
committed suicide by slashing his own stomach in true samurai tradition. It was also the first time on Okinawa that Japanese soldiers surrendered to the Americans in such large numbers.
1,050.
Typhoon
Gamay lang agwanta pitata mo mananing dedication para sa birthday sa kong igagaw.
This typhoon, over 120,000 elderly, women, and children, many of whom took their own lives, as on Saipan. Children and young people died in the service of the Japanese defenders. They went to their deaths as messengers, ammunition carriers, or paramedics. Those who wanted to survive hid underground, seeking shelter in caves and on the cliffs. They sought protection from the attackers, but above all, from the Japanese defenders. Franklin Delano Roosevelt would not live to see the victory on Okinawa. On April 14, 1945, America bid farewell to its president with an act of state. Roosevelt had died 2
Okay,
days
kids
prior.
paid.
In doomed Berlin, Hitler excitedly spoke of a miracle, not knowing that he himself had only a few days to live. Vice President Harry Truman took over the presidency. July 1945. It had been 3 months since the end of the war in Europe. The German army surrendered on May 8th. The Führer had shot himself the week before. The victors met in Potsdam to discuss how Europe would navigate the post-war world. From Berlin, U.S. President Truman called on Japan to surrender unconditionally. Japan refused. At the time of the Potsdam Conference, Truman already knew that the weapon that would finally bring Japan to its knees had been tested successfully. The U.S. had become a nuclear power with the atomic bomb. The ultimatum meant the immediate and complete destruction of Japan.
Okay, continue.
To surrender. The U.S. president had now acted upon this threat. He ordered that the new bomb be deployed against the empire, which was already on its knees, and whose military was not willing to end the war. On August 6, 1945, an American B-29 aircraft dropped the atomic bomb, Little Boy, on Hiroshima. The city was obliterated almost entirely. 2 days later, Stalin marched on Japan-occupied Manchuria. 3 months after Germany's surrender, as discussed at the Yalta Conference in early February 1945. 3 days after Hiroshima, the Americans loaded another plane with a second atomic bomb from their base on Tinian. Fat Man was the name of the nuclear explosive that was to be dropped on Nagasaki. It is impossible to determine the exact number of victims of the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings. However, estimates put the death toll from both the atomic blast and aftermath at numbers widely exceeding 100,000. Japan Japan surrendered in response to the attack on Nagasaki. The country is devastated, and its fleet destroyed. The land army was defeated, the air force no longer in existence. Stalin's Red Army drove the Japanese occupying forces out of Manchuria. On September 2nd, 1945, aboard the U.S. battleship Missouri, anchored in Tokyo Bay, General Douglas MacArthur accepts Japan's unconditional surrender. 3 years and 8 months after the attack on Pearl Harbor, the indomitable Holy Realm has been defeated. Tokyo lay in ruins. The cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki were both in a sea of debris and had become contaminated graveyards for countless victims. The site marked the end of the Second World War.
Magbago man ang katawan natin at 50 plus. Put eat my Centrum Silver Advance, adjusted the nutrient levels for our age to help us keep doing the June the 6th, 1944. A grey daybreak over the channel. Convenient and awe-inspiring sight. Never had such an armada been seen in the history of mankind. On board 7,000 vessels, 130,000 men crossed the stretch of sea, with air cover from 20,000 planes. At dawn, after a hail of fire, the men would land on the coast of France. 20,000 of them also arrived by air. Allied soldiers would be lost on that day, and almost as many Germans.
Last session.
11 weeks later, Paris would be liberated, and the road to Berlin opened wide. This film will tell from the viewpoint of both Allies and Germans this epic tale, from its planning in Britain, launched in January 44, until its outcome in the summer. With the US generals Dwight Eisenhower, Omar Bradley, British Field Marshal Bernard Montgomery, British Prime Minister
Okay.
Winston Churchill,
Alright.
German Field Marshal Erwin Rommel, and all the enormous heroes who took part in the landing.
Dapat ay part 5 guys. Thank you for watching the video.